Now, the next one's a big one because we finally get Ikram Aliskerov back. He's taking on Andre Muniz. You remember last time out, he got dropped by Robert Whitaker after replacing Hamza. Whitaker dominated him, and then Hamza dominated Whitaker. So, and before, you look at Aliskerov, and his only losses are to Hamza and Robert Whitaker. So, now he's fighting down a little bit from those two, and we'll see what he can do against Andre Muniz, who's a very good fighter. So let's get into it right now. In the middleweight division at UFC Saudi Arabia, he's back. Ikram Aliskerov. Remember, he lost to Robert Whitaker last time out. He's taking on a formidable opponent. He doesn't get a softball here. Andre Muniz, who's 24-6, the Brazilian. Aliskerov, Russian, 15-2. So let's get into it. Muniz, 1 inch taller at 6'1". He's 34. Aliskerov, 32. Muniz, 2-inch reach advantage. Both guys stand left-handed. Stand-up game is all Aliskerov. 7 significant strikes per minute to just 2 for Muniz. But Muniz, the Brazilian, can land takedowns, right? Like a takedown and a half per round. Aliskerov isn't bad either. He gets 2 takedowns every 3 rounds. Now, before Robert Whitaker, which he got KO'd pretty quick in the first, he was looking good. Beat Warley Alves by KO, Phil Hawes KO, and a Kimura submission at the Contender Series. Muniz has been in the game for a while. I mean, he's got a lot of UFC fights. It looks like, if I'm counting quickly and correctly, he's 8-2 in the UFC, only losing to Paul Craig and Brendan Allen. Look out. He did beat Jung Yong Park by split decision, beat Uriah Hall, Eric Anders, Jacare Souza. Wow, armbar. That's crazy. And Bartosz Fabinski. So this is a big fight for Aliskerov, in my opinion, because we're going to find out how good he is, right? He's not on the level of Robert Whitaker just yet. In another 2 years, he might be. He's only lost to Robert Whitaker and Hamzat Chimaev. Muniz has only lost to Paul Craig and Brendan Allen, but that Paul Craig one is big for me. And normally I go with the Brazilian in these type of fights, and who knows? I mean, he's a little older. He's probably at the height of his career, but I still got to go with Aliskerov in this one, right? You only lose to Robert Whitaker and Hamza. Someone's still got to prove to me that he's much lower than those two guys, because if you don't face two of the best, which a lot of guys may not at this point in their career, he's easily 15, 16, 17-0 right now. So I like Aliskerov to bounce back here and win a very tough, very close fight. And I don't often go against the Brazilians, but I like the Russian here to get the win. Likely by decision, maybe KO. I mean, 7 significant strikes per minute. Keep an eye on that. That's very active. If he can keep those numbers up, he wins easily, either by KO or decision here. Middleweight division, UFC, Saudi Arabia. Aliskerov bounces back. That's the prediction. And we haven't seen him in a while. Even in that fight, it was over quickly, so he didn't even have to put in a lot of work. He should be totally fresh, and he better be, because whenever you're taking on a Brazilian in a fight situation like this, you better be ready, because Muniz is going to bring it. And I don't take that prediction lightly at all, especially a Brazilian who's 24-6, and he's well-rounded. But again, you know, I guess we're buying the hype like everyone else. I mean, Aliskerov is a 6.5 to 1 favorite, so you look at that, and it's like, even if you're close, it's like, do you really go against them odds when you're just making a head-up prediction? I don't think so. That's not the only reason we went with them. We would have went with them without the odds, but the odds make it even easier to make that prediction.